It's my honor to welcome you to the State Senate, and obviously a wonderful individual that we have the chance to swear in as the Secretary of the Senate. Great tradition. It was great being able to see Bob Ewing, who is here. Many of you probably will not recognize him, nor did I, because he's trying to fashion a ponytail in a couple of months, it looks like. So he's letting his hair grow long, and I guess that's what you do when you grow up in life. I don't know, but we're certainly excited that Bob is here and so many other wonderful guests that has been a part of the Secretary of the Senate for so long. So it's a great honor for me to welcome you. It's now my great honor to recognize the President Pro Tem to bring some remarks. Senator?
Mr. President, ladies and gentlemen of the Senate, distinguished guests, pursuant to my authority under Title 28, Section 3, Paragraph 20C1 of the Official Code of Georgia, I hereby appoint David A. Cook as the Secretary of the Georgia State Senate to serve until the next session of the General Assembly.
Good. What does it say now? It says or until duly qualified. That's great. Well, actually, what the Pro Tem didn't state, and what David and I were laughing about, is in the code it does say that the Pro Tem actually appoints a successor, and until a duly qualified member is comes forward. So I think we have a duly qualified individual. But it's my honor now to get back on my notes here and follow the script. So I'm going to administer the oath. So David, if you would come forward, and if you'd like, yeah, please, absolutely. Bring your family up. That'd be wonderful. Great. And if you'll put your left hand on the Bible and raise your right hand and repeat after me. I do hereby solemnly swear.
I do hereby solemnly swear.
Or affirm. That I will discharge my duties.
That I will discharge my duties.
Faithfully. And to the best of my skill.
And to the best of my skill.
And knowledge. So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, great. Thank you very much. Great.
Congratulations.
Do you want to say something?
You're supposed to say something, then you're supposed to say
Okay, great. It's really great to have a wonderful individual. I have known David for a number of years. I was elected back in 1994 to the State Senate and came here, and there was this guy who actually didn't have all the gray hair that he has now that was in the hallway, and he and I struck a wonderful friendship early on. He had great relationships and worked with our governor back when he was the president of this Senate, or President Pro Tem of the body, and then went on to help him as well in Congress, and then had a great distinguished career, but always an individual of great character and integrity, and really is exciting to see that his roots began in the Secretary of the Senate's office, and this is an individual that truly was making a lot more money in the private sector, and yet he wanted to fulfill a dream to come back and finish out a career as the Secretary of the Senate. And I think that speaks not only to his character, but really the DNA that is in him and the love of this great institution in this great state. So it's a real honor to have him as our Secretary of the Senate. David, you're going to do a great job, and as long as you do everything I tell you to do, everything's going to be great. But we're thrilled to have you, and it's great to congratulate you here today. And so I'd like to call upon the President Pro Tem to make some remarks, and then ask our new Secretary Cook to come forward and address you as well.
Thank you, Mr. President. The decision to appoint David Cook as Secretary of the Senate was not a decision that I made alone. It was the culmination of a collaborative process that reflects the fact that the state Senate will elect a permanent Secretary of the Senate on the first day of the next legislative session. That process began with a call for nominations from every member of this body. It was followed by interviews by a distinguished panel of senators chaired by the chairman of the Senate Appropriations Committee. It included consultations with the leaders of the Democratic and Republican caucuses and with the Lieutenant Governor, who's the president of this body. And there was a broad consensus that David Cook had the skills and the temperament to serve as the Secretary of the Senate. He began his career of public service in this body, working on the crew, the session crew of the legendary Secretary of the Senate, Hamilton McWhorter, and worked for the state Senate for nearly a decade as an aide to the Senate Judiciary Committee and then as an aide to the President Pro Tem of the Senate. He served as a Congressional Chief of Staff. He was the President of the Medical Association of Georgia and most recently served as the Commissioner of Community Health of the state of Georgia. And it's my privilege to introduce and to urge you to welcome the 43rd Secretary of the Senate, the Honorable David A. Cook.
Thank you all very much. Thank you, Senator Schaefer, for those kind words, and let me say a special word of thanks to you for having the trust and confidence in me to make this appointment. It's truly one of the greatest honors of my life, and I thank you very much. I also want to thank Lieutenant Governor Cagle, not only for his kind remarks, but also for his support during this selection process. Mr. President, I recognize that this appointment wouldn't have been possible without your support, so let me extend my heartfelt thanks to you as well. I look forward to working with both of you, as well as all the members of the Senate. Thank you for coming out today. I look forward to working with you all very closely in the years to come. Service to the Senate is, especially in this capacity, I believe is an extraordinarily high honor and privilege, and I am truly humbled by this appointment. Those who know me know that I came to the Senate some 37 years ago, so this has some particular meaning for me, and it's great to be back home. As it was mentioned, I was the reading clerk, and I know how crazy it gets up here, and enjoyed working for many years with Hamilton McWhorter and Bob Ewing and many others. I went on to serve the Senate for 12 years, and I never forget what this body has meant to me. I'll never forget my first days, which continued throughout the process, the exhilaration I felt every day as I walked up the Capitol steps on my way to work. And I'll never forget the first day that I set foot into this chamber with its bright lights and its decor that speaks to all of us about the importance of the Senate as an institution, both past and present. I have so many wonderful memories of working in the Senate, but none more special than this incredible honor that you have bestowed upon me today. I want to thank a few members of the Senate who were directly involved in the Senate in the selection process, Majority Leader Chance, Minority Leader Steve Henson, and members of the Selection Committee, Senator Jack Hill, from the 4th, Senator Mullis, Senator Hardy Davis, Senator McCoon, and Senator Stone. Thank you all very much for your support. I appreciate that very much. I'm also glad to see Bob Ewing here today. Bob, thank you for coming, and I want to thank you for your encouragement and support, and most of all for your willingness to mentor me as the process goes on. So I'm going to hold you to it. So I'm glad you're here in front of everybody to make that commitment. Thank you. Bob left in place a great staff, and I look forward to working with them, and frankly, the whole staff of the Senate. The Senate has a great staff. Everybody has been very warm and welcoming, and I thank you all very much. I've been blessed to have done a number of wonderful things in both my personal and my professional life, none of which would have been possible without the love and the encouragement and support of my wife, Beth. Thank you. my two sons and Andrew, one of them being here today. Thank you, Andrew, for being here, and my family, and so many friends. Thank you all very much. Mr. President, members of the Senate, I'm ready to get to work. Thank you.
Well done, well done. Nice job. Good job. That's awesome. That's awesome. You're going to do a great job.